Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tarot Saviors GNN review video. We have reached the last week of the Jujutsu Kaisen collaboration, so that means that next week we will be having new content that is unrelated to this anime collab. And what that means is that Madhead is releasing two of their original cards for us to draw in their Era of Novelty seal. So what do we have in store? We have two new characters, Harvard and Charlotte, coming next week, as well as a new item collecting mission and skill adjustment to specific demons. Ooh, that is actually kind of nice because that is going to be a buff for existing characters, and normally that is pretty useful and may push some new members or some older cards to become more used in the current meta. But the meat and potatoes of this GNN news is definitely going to be these two new characters, which, as you know if you've been playing the game, it means that we are removing the old jackpot characters. So Yubei Jagyu and Snow are going to be removed in order to make space for Harvard and Charlotte. We have Disordered Gluttony Harvard and Argent Decapitation Charlotte. So first things first, it is going to be the big jackpot card, which is going to be Disordered Gluttony Harvard. He is the one that is going to be guaranteed at 20 draws, and Charlotte is going to be the second jackpot card. So Harvard is a light beast card and has the following leader skill. Blood Extortioner members and beast members have an attack increase of ×9, HP times 2.5, 5% of the attack damage dealt to enemies will be converted to HP recovery to the max of 50%. By dissolving race runes, Blood Extortioner members and beast members each launch one extra light attack. By dissolving runestones of the enemy's weakness attribute, team attack ×6 additionally. Honestly, this leader skill is not bad, and we don't really have many Blood Extortioner archetype members because that is slightly new. So personally, I think that Harvard is going to be running a lot of beasts in the team, which is not bad since beast members have a pretty decent pool of characters with decent utility. In terms of damage output, I think he has the makings of a good card. Team attack ×9 as a baseline is pretty good in the current meta, but not only that, he has a team attack ×6 if you dissolve runestones of the enemy's weakness attribute. And that is a very good multiplier and a very easy condition to hit. However, because it is a single type of runestones, given that enemies only have one weakness, you are subject to potentially having combo nullifying, runestone block, or you might just happen to have runestone drought of that specific element that you need. And in that case, your damage output is going to go down very fast because that ×6 is a very big part of his leader skill, and without it, he is probably just going to hit like a wet paper noodle. Other than that, I think his lifesteal mechanic, ooh, that's why they're called Blood Extortioners. His lifesteal mechanic, 5% of attack damage dealt to enemies will be converted to HP recovery, is going to be very useful because notice how he only increases your HP stat and not your recovery value. And one of the weaknesses with that is that because your HP is so large, your recovery typically doesn't recover all of it unless you have recovery bonuses. However, because you have a lifesteal mechanic, you are still going to be able to recover your HP even when you have massive amounts of HP. Keep in mind that if you hit enemy shields, this HP recovery is going to be very low because you are not dealing damage and you are not going to recover HP. It is also a slight weakness against tumbler enemies because they only receive a fixed amount of damage. So depending on the enemy's HP bar, you might not recover fully recover your HP or even 50% of your HP, and that might be a slight problem. But yeah, in terms of the extra attacks, that is also going to be nice. And honestly, if there is a way for you to generate race runes, then it is going to be a very nice small addition to his leader skill. So now let's take a look at his team skill and see if we have anything to complement his leader skill. When the leader is Disordered Gluttony Harvard, so you don't need to run dual leader and ally, which is pretty standard for the jackpots nowadays. It means that you can run different black gold cards that you don't have, or cards that are pretty good that other people have that you don't have. But yeah, Beast HP basic value increases by 2. Runestone Movement Time increases regardlessly by 5 seconds. Burning is nullified. Step damage is nullified. Runestone's touch while moving will be converted into enchanted runes, and for each enchanted rune dissolved, recover 5% HP. 60% of damage received from demon enemies will be converted to HP recovery. When 8 or more combos are made, team attack times 8. After dissolving runestones, the first batch of runes to be dropped will be light and heart runes of the members' races in the team. Ooh, all runestones to be dropped in the first batch will be adjacent according to their types. Light and heart runes also possess 150% of all attributed runestones. If there is a Blood Extortioner member with Disordered Gluttony Harvard in the team, the leader is Blood Extortioner. Disordered Gluttony Harvard skill cooldown -1, and for the first 10 waves, Harvard gets a ×3 attack bonus, and damage will be dealt regardless of enemy-specific damage reducing resistance. If there is a Blood Extortioner member in the team, 5% of the attack damage dealt will be converted to HP recovery to the max HP as much as the total HP of Blood Extortioner members. So, let's unpack all of that. First of all, the last 2 team skills is going to be a archetype specific team skill from the Blood Extortioner archetype, and it is going to benefit Harvard because it does give him a ×3 attack bonus for 10 rounds, and since he himself is a Blood Extortioner member, I believe, you also benefit from this effect if you run a Harvard team. Also here, this 5% attack damage dealt by Blood Extortioner members is converted to HP bar is very similar to his leader skill. However, the upper limit of this team skill is going to be lower than 50% of your total HP, because this HP value is going to be your base value HP. So it is going to be additional recovery, but it is not going to be comparable to the 50% HP that you recover from the leader skill for Harvard. So now let's unpack the leader team skill. So Beast HP basic value increases by 2, which is going to give you insane amounts of HP since you also have the ×2 HP bonus from his leader skill. Runestone Movement Time, always nice to have. Ignore burning and step damage, also very nice to have because it has 2 of the more annoying board debuffs that you might have. Enchanted Runestones trail is also very nice because it helps you remove certain board debuffs like Marked, Weekend, Lock for Recovery, and Muck Runes, I believe. But not only that, it does benefit Harvard very well, because for each enchanted runestone that you dissolve, you recover 5% HP. And here's the thing, because you only recover 50% from your leader skill, if you have less than 50%, you kind of need a different way to recover your HP in order to not die. And so this is a very easy way to recover your HP, because you are generating enchanted runes just by moving, and for each one of those you are recovering 50 or 5% of your HP. What this means is you only need to dissolve 10 runes to get the remaining 50% of your HP that was not covered by your team skill, by your leader skill. And 10 runes is very easy to hit. It is basically just 3 combos plus 1 rune, and if you do 7 combos, that's 21 runes, you recover all of your HP. And the thing that I was saying, that if you hit an enemy shield, you are not dealing damage, which means you're not life stealing, that basically goes out of the window, because you can recover HP without dealing damage just by dissolving enchanted runes. So in terms of this team, I think recovery is set because you do recover HP this way. And another upside of this or benefit of this is that because your recovery is going to be so shit from beast members, recovery inversion or enemy skills that damage you based on your recovery are not going to do anything to you. And you are still able to recover HP. So honestly, it's a very interesting archetype where you're not buffing recovery at all, you're only buffing your HP, but you're still able to fully recover HP without an issue. And that is going to be very useful, personally. 60% of damage received from demon will be converted to HP recovery. Here again, we have more HP recovery, but this is going to be very situational because it does hinge on the fact that your enemy is a demon. So I wouldn't count on this, but if it happens, nice. Here we go. So when 8 or more combos are made, team attack times 8. An 8 times team attack bonus is an insane multiplier, and this is definitely going to constitute a very big chunk of your damage output for a Harvard team. And 8 combos might seem like a lot, but normally it is a little bit on the harder side to hit. It's not hard, it's pretty easy, but depending on your board, 8 combos might not be possible. But you do have guaranteed skydrop with a Harvard team. Your first batch is always going to be light and hard runes, and they are going to be aligned based on their type. This means that you are getting a guaranteed 2 extra combos from skydrop, which means that you only have to do 6 initial combos to get this times 8 attack bonus, and that is going to be a very good chunk of your damage. So yeah, overall, I think Harvard is going to be a very decent leader. Honestly, not a bad leader at all. He has damage output and he has very big amounts of HP. In terms of damage output, nice, but the thing that he falls short on is going to be enemy shield breaks, because he does have the utility to ignore burning and has the utility to ignore step damage, but other than that, you're not breaking any shields either with his leader skill or his team skill. If he were able to ignore fixed combo shield or puzzle shield or initial shield in his team skill, I would say this is an amazing leader, but because he is lacking that, I do think he is a good leader, but definitely not a meta-defining leader. And I could be wrong, so I would have to wait until he comes up. But for now, I think that his leader potential is a little bit above average, but definitely not top tier. But yeah, moving on to his active skill, hopefully he has some redeeming shield breaking potentials here. So let's see. CD7 and has the following effect. Remove frozen, petrified runes and the column below the character to generate enchanted runes of the member's attributes. For 1 round, team attack times 2. Team attack in the next round will be the same as this round. And if the leader is a blood extortioner member, the damage received in the round will not lead to your defeat. This is not a bad skill. This is honestly has more utility than it looks like. Removing frozen and petrified, it is now considered situational because they don't really appear that often in the stages anymore. In terms of enemy skill counters, or enemy shield breaks, we don't have anything there, so that kind of makes me feel a little bit bad about the card, because it desperately needed some sort of shield breaking to be very, very good. However, generating a fixed board, increasing your team attack times 2, and the utility that is very useful that I say it's not exactly noticeable at first glance, it is going to be the third effect. Team attack in the next round will be the same as this round. That is basically G-Tun's ability, but for a beast team. And if you played G-Tun in the past, you know how good this ability is, or this utility is, because you can basically stack yourself or buff yourself to hell and back and launch a very powerful attack in 1 round. And on the next round, you only have to dissolve 1 group of runestone and still launch the same nuke that you would have done in the previous round. And that is very useful if you need 2 rounds of bursts, or if you need or if there's a specific type of enemy that requires you to deal double damage again, you know. But yeah, in Jichen's case, it was a little bit more useful because normally you're running Novalis, or you need to satisfy your condition, and if the next round you're not able to satisfy the condition, then this skill would come out very useful. However, for a Harvard team, your conditions for full damage output are very easy. So even though this effect is very nice, it does pair up best with buffing yourself in one round and launching the same damage in the next round. Still very useful, but honestly, with the current meta cards and the damage output that they can dish out, I mean, you don't really need to have 2 rounds of the same damage because you can just destroy enemies very easily. But yeah, and for the 4th effect, also very situational. If the enemy has a skill that ignores defense, you're still dead, and you are tied to having a blood executioner extortioner leader in the team, which is nice when you're running a Harvard team. But when he falls out of the meta, that effect is going to basically die with him as well. So overall, what do I think about this card? I think he's a little bit, he's good, but he is a little bit underwhelming for being a guaranteed jackpot card. Normally, the guaranteed jackpot cards are very good. But in this case, he is above average, but I don't think he is going to be top tier. And that's because even though he has damage output, he doesn't have any shield breaking potential, and his team building is going to be a little bit restrictive. You are only able to run beast members and blood extortioner members, so that means that your pool for members is going to be pretty low. His active skill is good, but CD7 is a little bit slow for what it does. And you have better options in the game to boost your damage for multiple rounds. So yeah, he's a little bit underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, he's a good card, and were he a normal card, he would be super good. But because this is a guaranteed 1% jackpot card, guaranteed at 20 draws, it is going to be a little bit underwhelming in that regard. But yeah. Next, we have the other jackpot card, which is Argent Decapitation Charlotte. She is going to be a Dark Machina card and has the following leader skill. Dark members and Machina cards attack times 7, HP and recovery times 1.5. When the team has only Machinas, team attack times 7 additionally, HP and recovery increases by 1.5 times additionally. Damage received is reduced by 20%. And if all Machinas in the team have 100% feel, damage received will be reduced by 40%. Honestly, this team skill is kind of nice, very simple, so I think it is kind of average. Team attack times 7 baseline, that's already pretty low, and you are only able to get an additional times 7 if you run a Mono Machina team. But a Mono Machina team is super restrictive, and so even though she boosts all dark members, because of the multipliers, you should just be running Mono Machina, and that is going to be restrictive unless there's something in the team skill that will save her from that. But yeah, overall her leader skill looks a little bit average, but normally second jackpot cards are more about their active skills rather than their leader skills. So let's see what we have. If the leader is Argent Decapitation Charlotte, again, no need for dual leader and ally, which is very nice. Extend runestone movement time regardlessly by 3 seconds. Sticky will be nullified. Runestone movement will not be stopped when you touch a laser trap. At the beginning and at the end of each round, turn the first rune in each column below Machinas into enchanted dark runes. 15 combos will be stored each round. Dissolving runestones is necessary. To the max of 45 combos can be stored. By dissolving one group of 6 or more runestones in the first batch, combo count increases by the number of combos stored. The counting resets after the effect is triggered. Oh, interesting. All runestones also possess 50% effect of runestones of Makina's attribute in the team. When 7 or more combos are made, all members attack times 7. Damage will be dealt regardless of trio and quintet elemental shield. When 15 combos are made, Argent Decapitation Charlotte attack times 2, and damage will be dealt regardless of the initial shield and fixed combo shield. And you also have Makina Dynamics. And honestly, if this team skill were on Harvard, I would understand why he is the 1% jackpot card for this seal. This team skill actually has a lot going on for it. You ignore sticky, you ignore laser trap, all things are very nice, and you also generate guaranteed attacking runes for your team. However, the very interesting thing is going to be this bank mechanic, where, and this is new and this is very exciting. Every round you basically gain 15 combos for your bank, and to the max of 45 combos, so you can just store that for 3 rounds to get 45 combos. And the way you cash in it is by dissolving one group of 6 or more runestones in the first batch, which is actually not that hard. So here's the thing, you are able to basically get guaranteed 15 combos every round thanks to this team skill, and that is going to be very decent damage output. And also it triggers your other team skill, where when you dissolve 7 or more combos, all members get an additional times 7 attack, which is a very much needed multiplier for this team. You also ignore trio and quintet elemental shield, and if you dissolve more than 15 combos, you also ignore initial and fixed combo shield. And like what I was saying, you are able to cash in every round, I believe, and so this 15 combo condition is pretty easy as long as you're storing your combos. And here's the unfortunate thing though, because the base multiplier of her team is just times 7, and you only get it times 7, this times 7, it is going to be nice, but overall her damage output is going to be slightly above average, but that's it. If she had better multipliers, this would be an amazing leader, and honestly better than Harvard. And this team skill is basically what Harvard would have wanted, honestly. Has attack increase, it has board debuff ignore, it has enemy shield breaks, so definitely a very good team skill. The only thing holding this card back is going to be damage output, and so I think she is going to be a fun leader, but I also don't think she's going to see much play moving forward either, especially because Atom exists and she was very recent and she is the current Makina card to go for. That being said, you can run Atom as an ally since you only need Charlotte in the team, but as a leader, I think her leader potential is a little bit average. So now, moving on to her active skill, we have a CD6 active skill. It has the following effect. Upon skill activation and at the end of the round, explode all runes to generate enchanted runestones of the Makina attributes in the team. If there are only dark Makinas in the team, Generate enchanted runestones of the members' attributes. Wait, what? Oh wait, no. If there are only Makinas in the team, generate enchanted Makina runes of the members' attributes. There we go. The difference here is the Makina runes, or race runes. For 1 round, damage received from scorching areas minus 80%, character's attack times 3.5, and the character's damage will be dealt regardless of defense. Honestly, this is a very good card, only for the reason that it helps you reduce scorching damage, scorching area damage. Because I believe she is one of the few, if not the only Makina card that can help you ignore scorching on an active skill. So it is definitely worth getting this card if you need a way to ignore scorching areas. That being said, because it is a jackpot card, you might be spending more diamonds than you need to get this card. So definitely not needed, because there are many other ways to bypass scorching areas, but it is a nice quality of life to have different races with the same effect so that you can have more flexibility when building your team. But yeah, so that's the thing with Charlotte. And so I rarely do this, but I highly recommend you skip this seal and save your diamonds for an upcoming event, because these two leaders are a little bit underwhelming, and I don't think you should spend your diamonds on them, especially when there's the Hikaru no Go collaboration coming up soon. They announced it at TGS, and it still hasn't come out yet, but it has been announced, so we know it's coming. So I would personally save diamonds for that collaboration or for a new black gold card rather than for these two jackpot cards, because I don't think they will provide that much value to your account compared to a black gold card or a collaboration seal. But yeah, we have a new item collecting mission, rescue the Adelaide. Same thing, new item collecting mission, yada yada yada. You can spend those items to collect, to spend them in the shop to collect rewards. There's 2 special stages, solve puzzle in the stage. We'll okay, yeah. So you get emergency kits, and you can use them to redeem valuable rewards such as medals, remodeling hammer, and harpy kings in the time limited shop. So definitely do that. Doesn't really cost anything, and it's free rewards, so definitely worth doing. And now we reach the other part that I'm kind of excited about, which is going to be the buffs to specific demons. I'm more curious as to why just demons and not a wide array of characters, but I guess it is better than nothing. But yeah, let's see what we have in store. Following the unusual surge of demon powers, some special demon characters will have skill adjustments on Monday after maintenance. So Diarmuid, let's see what changes. Weaken runes and electrify runes are turned into enchanted earth demon runes. That seems okay. So turn heart runes into enchanted earth runes. So turn earth, heart, weaken runestones, and electrify runes into enchanted earth demon runes. So basically what happens is that you are enhancing this first effect into being enchanted earth demon runes. And for 1 round, the character attack increases by 3 times. Nice, not bad. The skill basically stays the same with a character attack boost. Still don't think he's going to see much play because there's no utility in the team, and just converting and a slight attack boost is not really what people are looking for these days. If you have a team skill with Diarmuid and Amor and Celos, aka the combination, the 2 parts of the combination, let's see, skill cooldown goes down by 6 instead of -3, which means that you can combine directly. Yep, you can combine directly after entering the stage. So that is a very nice, that is very nice actually. Minamoto Yoshitsune. Okay, so let's see, active skill, turn heart runes into enchanted light runes, dark runes into enchanted heart demon runes, and turn earth into enchanted water demon runes. Basically, you are just taking the same conversion and adding demon runes, so that's going to increase your attack and satisfy certain team skills. And the character's attack times 3 additionally. Same thing, we have a team skill. It goes from -5 to -8 skill cooldown, which means again you can combine from the get-go. And honestly, I think this one's even better because Minamoto's combination is one of the more useful ones from this series. And so being able to combine from the get-go, it was very good for Tansen Zhang. But also it is going to be very useful because of the delay skill that his combination form has as well. Okay, Spiky Amor and Celos. Yeah, Demon launches extra attack and turn column into enchanted runes. So yeah, very nice, slight increase. Ima no Tsugirugi and Usumedori. For 2 rounds, active skill, let's see. Oh, okay. So you are adding a race rune thing to the skill upon skill activation and at the end of the round. It's very nice. Deducts 50% and that stays the same. Active skill of Diarmoid. The column below the characters. Earth runes, heart runes weakened. Runestones electrify runes to generate enchanted runes. If 8 or more runestones are exploded, so the condition goes down, combo count increases by 10 times. This is actually really good. And if you're wondering, this is Bloom Amid the Thorns, which is the combination form of Diarmoid and Amoricelos. This is a very nice buff. However, because it does because for the combination you need both cards, you are taking up 2 team slots for it. I also don't think this card is going to see that much play. Diarmoid was one of the less seen combinations from the series. But for the second effect, same thing, extra attacks and demon enchanted runes. Basically the enhanced version of the Amor and Celos version. And here, Unified Blades Minamoto no Yoshitsune, the combination form, has another buff as well. Basically, your conversion skill just becomes enchanted demon runes instead of just the regular enchanted runes. Very nice. Okay, this one's interesting because this skill is actually very useful, and one of the reasons why this combination was used so much, like 3 years ago. For 3 rounds, upon skill activation, turn all runestones into enchanted runes. Actually, no, it's the same thing. Not the delay effect has stayed the same. You just get certain buffs in terms of board enchantment, you know? So not a bad thing, but also not super impactful. Light Chaser Lancelot, this is actually very interesting that they're buffing it. Character's attack increases. Character's damage regardless of initial shield, and the skill stays in play until the character launches no attack. That... okay, honestly. Dude, this is probably the biggest buff for a non-black gold card that has come out in a while. This is an amazing buff, and here's the thing, Lancelot is very useful in demon teams, and I use him all the time. And yes, his stacks are a little bit weird to build up, and it takes a while to build up, But this times 5 team attack or character attack bonus is nothing to scoff at. It is a very big attack bonus, and it makes Lancelot one of the better members because you have that consistent times 5 team attack once you reach max stacks. The buff here is that they're removing that stack mechanic altogether, and they're just giving you a flat times 5 character attack bonus. And that makes Lancelot even better because you don't have to wait those extra rounds in order to get those stacks and get your max attack multiplier. And not only that, you are getting a plus 5 combo count to your active skill, and this skill stays in play until the character launches no attack. So basically you're getting a times 5 character and a plus 5 combo, which are both very, very useful in the current meta and current stages. So this is definitely going to make Lancelot see a lot of more play in teams because he has utility in terms of damage increase and combo count increase. And not only that, he has 2 active skills, so you still have access to both of those. Lancelot, if there are only Knights of the Round Tables or demons in the team and there is a Lancelot in the team, this is also an amazing, oh my god, that's broken. Why are they giving so much love to Lancelot? I mean, like, he's not a bad card. Why are they giving him so good? This is basically just a passive skill that allows you to have your skill ready when you enter the stage. And you don't have to have Lancelot as a leader. You don't have to run Lancelot as a leader, basically. And you only need a mono demon team or a mono Knights of the Round Table. Mono Knights of the Round Table is probably going to fall out of the meta at some point because that's how gacha games work. But mono demon is something that whenever Madhead releases a new demon card, mono demon is still something that's possible. So having a card that has this type of passive and this buffed up active skill is going to make him a very, very good member for those mono demon teams. So holy crap, Lancelot got a lot of love this patch. No idea why, but he did, and I'm happy. Oh god, we have Frost the Savants are getting their leader skills buffed. Multiplier stays the same. Okay, damage received minus 40%. By dissolving demon runestones, team attack times 5 additionally. Wait, what's different? It looks the same? Question mark? I don't know. It looks the same. I don't think the leader team changed. But yeah, their team skill did change. They are adding a bunch of different things. Demon 7 skill cooldown minus 6 when there's additional effect in play. Honestly, okay, fine. We're not looking at these. I mean, it's a very nice team skill increase, but the condition is that you run both the leader allies at Demon 7 series. And honestly, there's so many better options in the game now that, I mean, let's see, actually, let me read that. Well, team attack times 2, regardless of fixed combo shield. 30 runes. Oh, okay. To become demon runes, so you are generating demon runes. Extra movement time, and actually no, you know, it's still not great of a team skill. I mean, I'm glad they're buffing the fake black gold series because that's what they are. They have no reason being black gold cards backing, but they are, and their skills are very lackluster. No one uses them, and I don't think this buff is going to help them be ran as leaders. I don't think as leaders they're going to be that useful. For team skills, okay, so team skills, you recover 30 HP to the max of for each demon rune dissolve, so that's also going to be nice. And this is passive, so if you wanna add one of the savants to your team, that is going to give you additional HP recovery, which is pretty good. I don't know if you're gonna use that because the savants don't really have. Actually, hold up. Let me swallow my words real quick. I was going to say that the savants don't have good active skills, but I forgot Madhead is buffing their active skills. But yeah, still a very nice passive to have. Passives are always nice because you don't really need to do anything with them. You can just activate them by having them on the team. So, you know, definitely good to have. Okay, active skill time. Based on the paragraphs that we see, I'm excited. Explode all runes. So instead of just frozen runes, you're exploding all runes and frozen runes to generate demon runestones of 5 attributes. That is very nice as well because you get options and you get combos. Then runestone movement time, that stays the same. Turn the first 8 runestones touched into enchanted demon runes. Also nice. Basically, you're just enchanting them because you already have the demon runes. Team attack times 1.8 stays the same. If there are only demons in the team, team attack times 1.3 additionally, and effects 2 to 4 stay in play until no enchanted runestones are dissolved. Basically, it is a consistent 1.8 attack bonus since you are generating enchanted runes while moving. Oh, okay, that's the thing. So the reason why this enchanted trail with demon runes is very good is because this only activates at the beginning when you activate the skill. This will follow you around and will allow you to maintain the condition of the skill. So honestly, it becomes a decent buffer actually, because this is a semi-continuous effect. I say semi because it is going to be one of those that is not on the character, it's on the top of the screen thingy. It is a semi-permanent effect, and there is a condition that if you fail it, it's going to disappear. But overall, it is a constant attack bonus, and that might actually make Frost 7 see decent play, given that she also gets the passive team skill here. Cool. For Inferno 7, the cooldown is reduced by 7 from 7 to 6, which is also very nice. Turn 3 random runes into enchanted demon runes. Stays the same if there's only demon in the teams. 6 random runes are turned into enchanted runes. Enchanted demon runes each round. Burning is nullified. Ooh, nice. And demons launch 1 extra attack, as much as 1.5 of their own attack, and this skill stays in play until no demon runes are dissolved. Not bad. Burning is nullified. I mean, this skill was not good to begin with, and the changes they made are very nice, but I don't think they're going to make it see a lot of play either. I know it is 6 CD6 now, but there's not that much going for it. Burning is annoying, but there's so many cards that can ignore burning now that not that necessary nowadays. Withered Savant, 3 or more demons, combo plus 3, damage received minus 40% instead of 30. If there's only demons at the team, combo count increases by 3, and Sticky is nullified. This skill stays in play until heart runes are dissolved in the first batch. This is a very simple one. Yeah, this is a very simple one, a very nice addition, but also I don't think that's going to make her see out a lot of play either. Because not enough utility. But yeah, Illuminate 7 and Nightfall 7 were probably the better ones because they came after, or they came before, and they had more fleshed out ideas. So I'm excited to see what changes we have. For the active skill, we have Electrify all enemies for 2 rounds. Nice, that's completely new. And for 2 rounds, light members and demons. times 2 attack and damage will be dealt regardless of defense and puzzle shield. If they're only demon in team attack times 1.5 additionally. This is actually a very good buff. And one of the things is these cards were not used because there's no utility. And as I've been saying, team slots are very, very important nowadays. And as a card, as a member card, you have to do a lot of utility or a lot of supporting your team in order to make it worth that team slot. But because these 7s didn't really have any utility, they didn't really see play. But here, Illuminated 7 actually has a very decent buff because you get a status condition, which is very useful, and you also get the ability of breaking puzzle shield. And that is a puzzle shield break for light members and demon members, so that is a very good card. Nightfall 7th. For 1 round, inactivate all the enemies to change their attribute into dark. Let's see. Tap 1 runestone to turn runestones of that type into enchanted dark demon runes. Basically ignore this one, and now you can generate dark runes of whatever you want. Petrified all enemies for 1 round to inactivate them. So basically it's this effect but with the added benefit of petrification. Increase demon damage dealt to dark enemies, and if the leader is a character of Demon 7 series, the skill stays in play for 1 more round. Ignore this one. Again, people are not going to be running Demon 7s as leaders, but the rest of the skill is actually very good. Generating extra enchanted dark demon runes is going to be very useful. And petrify all enemies to alter them into dark. That is new and very useful. Also, there are not that many dark cards that can petrify enemies. Petrification is mostly reserved for earth members, and so having a dark card that can petrify is going to be very useful. So definitely a good active skill and a good buff for these two. I'm kind of surprised that Illuminated and Nightfall 7 actually have such nice improvements to their active skills, while the Frost, Inferno, Withered didn't really get that much love. Frost 7 actually got a rework that is pretty usable and like good and definitely worth using. But Inferno and Withered seem to me like they got the short end of the stick. But yeah, nice buffs. Is it going to affect the meta a lot? Not really. They're not super broken buffs, but there are definitely welcome buffs that I'm happy to have. Last but not least, I believe... Oh no, there's still a lot. Hold up. Okay, now we have the TOS Battle Pass, which ends this week. We have a new one, which is going to be a Dark Dragon card with a CD4 skill and the following effect. By tapping a runestone of the magic circle of elements, turn those runestones into enchanted heart runes. For 1 round, hearts can be dissolved by aligning 2 or more of them, and for each heart dissolved, recover 5,000 HP until team HP is full. If the leader is a dragon, the team will not be poisoned. This is a very interesting card. I'm not going to say it's good because the sole purpose of this card is to help you recover HP. There's no damage increase, there's no shield breaks. The only thing you're doing is recovering HP, and right now we don't have the necessity for a quote-unquote healer in the teams. If we needed one, this card would be amazing because CD4 is absolutely insane in terms of cooldown. It is very fast, and you can just generate as many heart runes as you want. You can convert any type of runestone into heart runes and aligning 2 of them, which is the easiest way to dissolve runes. And for each one of them, you recover 5,000 HP, in addition to the recovery that you get from those heart runes and the combos that you make. So this card is probably going to be good if we ever need a card that can heal you and heal you fast. But as things stand right now, I don't think this card is going to be that useful. But definitely worth having in your inventory just in case. But yeah, premium rewards, same thing. Outfit. Ooh, the outfit is actually kind of nice. It's like a shiny version of it. New dragon wear. Yeah. Behind a paywall, so I don't recommend it. And we have a new, what is this? A new bi-weekly stage. Unconditional Love Luvia, CD6, a light beast card with a following effect. The character enters a fatigue state for 1 round. For 2 rounds, Sticky will be nullified. Character's attack will be lowered to 0. Light members and beast members have a 1.8 attack bonus. And at the end of the round, if the character is in a fatigue state, the skill stays in play. CD6, actually not bad. You know what? I think this card is good. And the reason for that is that it is a continuous effect and a 1.5 attack buff for your beast and light member teams. That being said, her condition is a little, it's not hard. It's not difficult to maintain her condition. What you need to do is basically you just need to pull down her character rune every round in order to keep her in a fatigue state and maintain your continuous buff alive. And because her attack is already 0, there's no loss in keeping her in a fatigue state or using her character rune every chance you get. So overall, it is pretty good. However, the thing that bothers me with character runes is how they constrict you to start from a specific location. For me, at least, I've been playing the game for like almost 10 years now, or more than 10 years now. I like the flexibility of choosing where I start my movement from, and depending on the board, I can make better combos if I start from a specific location. And starting from a character runes, I don't like it. It's kind of clunky for me. I could be wrong, and some people might be super good with character runes, but the fact that you're always constricted to starting from that location, it is going to be a little bit rough, especially when you encounter endgame enemy skills that require you to start from different locations or generate very unfortunate boards for you, like traffic light runes, some electrify ones. Equal combo shield might also get fucked up if your character runestone deletes one of the things that you need. So overall, 1.8 attack bonus for this type of condition, I think it's not worth. 1.8 continuous effect is very nice, but given the condition of character runes and her being in fatigue state, I don't think she's going to see that much play. That being said, she is bi-weekly, and it's honestly one of the better bi-weekly cards that I've seen, but her use cases are going to be very limited for the reasons I mentioned before. And we're finally to the end of the GNN news, and that took a while and my throat hurts a little bit. But just to recap, we are getting 2 new characters, one Light Beast, Disordered Gluttony Harvard. Personally, I think his leader skill and leader potential is just above average and definitely not top tier status. His active skill, while it is pretty good, I think it's also kind of underwhelming for what it does, and he does not, his biggest weakness is going to be enemy shield breaking. The other character that we have is Argent Decapitation Charlotte, which is a Dark Machina card with a leader potential that is also kind of mid, kind of average in terms of damage output, but her team skill, unlike Harvard, does include pretty decent enemy shield breaks. In terms of active skill, her active skill is kind of good. Her active skill is pretty good, especially because she is one of the few, if not the only Machina that can help you ignore scorching areas on an active skill. I know some characters ignore it from the team skill. But yeah, so definitely a good card to have if you get her. However, because these two jackpot cards are kind of underwhelming, I would personally recommend for you to skip this seal because we are still awaiting the Hikaru no Go collaboration, and if you want more bang for your buck in terms of diamonds spent, I would rather save those diamonds for a collaboration seal where you also get the chance of getting non-jackpot cards as well as smaller jackpot cards. Definitely way more useful than this Era of Novelty seal. Next we have a new item collecting mission, so i.e. just do it and get free rewards, and we have different buffs for these demon characters. In my opinion, the ones that benefit the most are going to be Frost 7th, Illuminate 7th, Nightfall 7th, and the biggest winner of all is going to be Lancelot right here. Lancelot got an insane buff, and honestly I'm going to be using him more thanks to that buff because his active skill became broken. Or not broken, but really good. We also have a new battle pass coming up with a new Dark Dragon card with a CD4 skill, but he is just going to be a healer, and in terms of team utility, you need more utility rather than a dedicated healer in the current meta because the current meta is kill first, ask question later. Premium battle pass with a new skin and a new dragonware and a new bi-weekly card, Unconditional Love Luvia. On paper, her active skill is really good because you ignore sticky and you have a condition or unconditional 1.8 attack bonus. Continuous 1.8 attack bonus for your entire light and beast team. However, this requires you to be pulling Luvia's character rune every round in order to induce her fatigue state to maintain the skill active. And honestly, this is a lot of brain power and also not really that useful when you encounter certain endgame enemy skills. But because it is a bi-weekly card, I do recommend getting her just in case. But that condition at higher levels of play is a little bit too clunky, and there's better ways of getting a 1.8 attack boost without having to use her. And yeah, that's the end of this week's GNN news. There was more than I expected, so please let me know in the comments if I said anything wrong or if I missed out on anything. Stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower Saviors content such as guides, clear videos, and GNN reviews. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!